Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here for a game review show in different locations. Ben's sick. My son's sick. People are getting sick. So heads up. If you want to avoid sick, be a little careful out there. But it is Packer Outright Opinions. The Packers finally won a game again, Ben. So
Oh
there's
my
that.
Lord, it was a
There's that.
miracle.
They won a game.
It was a miracle.
I think it was more than a miracle. I think it was Jason Eckes. You know what he did? He rubbed all Jordan Love's balls. And then there you go. It got better.
He's known to do that.
Eckes was at the game, and that was the rumor that he rubbed Jordan Love's balls, the ones he was going to throw anyway.
I thought, okay. Well, I've never heard him do that
What?
before.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? Who knows the balls he rubbed when he was there at Lambeau Field on Sunday? But he was there, and because of that, the Packers won. So now Eckes just has to go to every Packer game for the rest of the season, and they'll find a way to win. That's my take. Hot take right here for you.
Well, I mean, we played a quarterback who was so bad he got cut the next day, so that's always a good thing. Um,
Uh, I
we
yeah.
we ran a lot of our running plays were with guys like pulling and stuff, and the Rams, yeah, they have Aaron Donald, but they didn't like push the offensive lineman backwards for the most part.
Yep.
So in the past, where those, like Myers is trying to pull around Yash and then, or whoever at left tackle, and then, or Walker or whoever, and then they get shoved backwards 3 yards, which then stops Myers. And then there's two guys there ready to tackle the running back. That kind of stuff didn't happen. So a lot of the difference in the offense was the fact that the Rams defense is really bad, like really bad. Like, I don't know
Really bad?
how, well, they just sit, they're kind of like the Packers where they just sit there and be like, hey,
Oh, well, Matt LaFleur
you
was talking
do
about that.
what
A
you
lot
want
of
to do.
lot of mirroring ideas and
Yeah.
plays and schemes and thoughts. William G's here. William G, how you doing? He says completely different team when Aaron Jones plays. And he gets the ball. That was the other thing. He actually got the ball. 20 carries. I think Aaron Jones was tired at the end of that game. Holy
Well,
man.
I mean, his average is not the best for an
Right.
Aaron Jones for no Aaron Jones game. However, there were quite a few times where he made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what he does. And not only that, but he scares the defense a little bit. I mean, on the touchdown pass to Luke Musgrave, it's a fake screen to Aaron Jones, and both linebackers go to Aaron Jones. And they leave Luke Musgrave in the middle of the field wide open. Like, even the linebacker who probably should have went over to look for A.J. Dillon still went to Aaron Jones. But, so that's the kind of stuff he can do, and that's why I always said, just put him out there. He doesn't have to get the ball every time. And that play was set up earlier with a couple different types of screen passes and whatever. But it's a good thing to see him in the game, even if he's not totally like, gashing everybody for like huge runs. But he had a couple good runs in there. He also missed a couple, where he should have saw a different hole and he kind of missed it. And I think that's
Well,
mostly just being rusty.
he's a little out of practice. I mean, they were showing his run totals through the other games he's played in this year, and they were all single digits,
Yeah.
single digit attempts for Aaron Jones. What the hell?
So that helped, but like I
Uh,
said, the offensive line was able to do the things that they're supposed to do.
so now they're fixed. Now they're all better.
No, because they'll play. They're playing the Steelers, dude. They're playing
I
Hayward and freaking Benton and T.J. Watt and all kinds of crazy guys, and they're gonna just gonna be penetration and all these. If they try these pull plays and all this other crap,
mm,
it's probably gonna be bad news Bears
I
again.
guess that's not going to go well. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do as a Packer fan this week, right? You have to be happy that the team won and look better. Now they did also, I will say, even in spite of all that, that yes, the Rams are not very good, and yes, they might not look as good against other teams. They did appear at least to come out more energized and be more into the game, like come out and play with more energy this game. It felt like that anyway. That's what it looked like.
Well, the
Guys are
defense.
right. They were
I
flying
don't know.
around and doing some more stuff. I mean,
I don't
that
know
was
about,
the hardest I've seen Jair Alexander play in probably 2-3 years.
yeah, but he still stunk up the joint here and there.
Oh, he got the game ball bent because he was everywhere. 7
That's the game
tackles for
ball.
Jair. 7 tackles for Jair Alexander in a single game. That's
That's because he gave up like freaking 8 catches.
yeah, but he had that big tip and he had the
That tip
another
was a Rasul Douglas play.
yeah. I
That
know he
was I
peeled
thought
off
that was
his
like, yeah, he peeled off
peeled
his
off his
guy and
guy. Yeah.
yeah, which
Well,
is funny
not
because he doesn't do that on other plays when he
right.
could.
Did you watch that did you watch that Bob McGinn video that I sent you?
No, I didn't waste my time.
The stuff he says, it's like Looney Tunes land. I mean, like that guy, if he wasn't already completely discredited and uncredible after the stuff he said about his take on Rasul Douglas, he is completely discredited for the rest of time. He should never be allowed to speak on sports whatsoever ever again in his life. Ridiculous. It was the worst and most ridiculous and off base take that I've ever seen. And almost to the point where you're like, what have you been watching for the last 2 years? Wow. That was, wow, terrible. And it also, that Tyler Dunn was the guy he was talking to. So it also discredited him. Now I feel like his article from 2018 is less credible because he talked to Bob McGinn and let him say that stuff on his platform.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's bad. That's
it's
bad.
bad.
Never
It's
you never
bad.
want to do that.
It's bad, bro. But what wasn't bad is Josh looked pretty good. Of course, then he got hurt again. But then Rasheed Walker was better, but again, maybe that's because the Rams weren't that good. Okay, so so the other thing you got to temper, right, is that they're playing. Dad thought it was Mark Rippon's son, of course, his nephew,
Right.
and if you're playing Matthew Stafford, it's probably not quite the same result. So, or maybe it is, I don't know, but not like top tier quarterback. You're also, you know, you seem to be able to hold them down pretty good in the run game and all this sort of stuff, and they weren't terribly efficient and they had their problems and all that stuff. So just temper your excitement with the opponent because don't think the Packers are all fixed and magically better, but we can enjoy the win. And I did think there were some guys that showed up and played well in this game. So we got some silent but deadly players to give out. We got some other stuff to give out. Ben's got a little film to look at, so we'll get off of this and we'll look at this stuff. So here we go. You got some film here. Ooh, unfortunately, I didn't think T.J. Slayton was nearly as impactful in this game as he was against the Vikings. That was a little sad because it made me think, the Vikings make him look that good. Damn. But anyway, he was okay.
Maybe.
Still, he was okay, but not great.
This is a bunch of good plays by the defense. I don't even remember what order they're in, so we'll just watch them and then figure it out. It's at half speed like it always is. And we'll see what happens after we watch it.
My God, Isaiah McDuffie looks about as big as the safeties.
Okay, so one thing I noticed that happened a bunch in this game was a lot of stunts on the outsides between the outside linebackers and the defensive ends. So on this particular play, you're going to see both sides of the field doing stunts. And that can lead to big holes like this. Look at here.
Yep.
But if you look here, Anthony Johnson Jr. is ready in that hole, even though there's a guy coming around to block. And then here, McDuffie's here. And of course, this guy is supposed to peel off and help out. But Preston Smith moves around really quick and gets in the hole and stops it. Not every time that he did stunts did it work. But on this particular one, they did a good job, stopped him for a short gain. And more often than not, it actually did help in the running game more so than pass rush. Pass rush wasn't as good, but at least in the running game, it helped a couple times, which is why they held him to less than 3 yards a carry, I think, in this game, right?
Yeah.
So on this game, look at the get off that Devontae Wyatt had. He's the second from the bottom on the defensive line. And he's watching this ball. He might even jumped early. I don't even know. Oh, no. It's just a great get. Look at that. But what this play is going to show is something that Anthony Johnson Jr. was all over the place in this game. He didn't always make a play. A lot of times he was stuck in the back. Usually he was back, way back deep safety. On this particular play, if you look at the top of the screen, you're going to see Preston Smith on the line of scrimmage. Directly behind him is Anthony Johnson Jr. And what his job is to cover the flat. And the reason why I'm showing this play is because when there's no player that goes to the flat, or this guy, for him to stay there, he immediately comes inside and cracks down on the tight end to break up the pass. And you'll also see good old Devondre Campbell just move too damn slow to make anything. He watches the quarterback the whole time, but he moves too slow. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Anthony Johnson Jr. So if you look here on the top of the screen, right about that where the 30-yard marker is, where it's got the 30 up there at the top of the screen, watch that guy. He's going to sit in the flat, read the quarterback's eyes, attack, and get a pass breakup. So as soon as he sees that pass is gone, he immediately switches right over and breaks up the pass. So that's how you play a flat. That's how you should be playing in the flat, right? You keep your eyes on the quarterback. If you see the quarterback throw the ball, you break toward where the ball is being thrown to. You don't sit there and watch the flat after the ball is gone.
Right. Keep running after your guy.
And then you see Devondre Campbell, who's he moves, but he's always so slow. He never, I don't know. I can't explain it. He's always just he has a lot of tackles, right? Yep. A lot of tackles. And if that wouldn't have been Anthony Johnson Jr., that would have been a catch and a tackle. But because he was there, it was a pass breakup. So on this play, this is one of my favorite plays. It shows the difference between Rashawn Gary and Kingsley Enagbare. Rashawn Gary is a pass rusher who usually uses power to switch to speed, right? So he runs right into you and then tries to get around you. Where on this play, when Kingsley Enagbare reads that the left tackle is going inside the double team here, so he knows that tight end's coming to pick him off. So he just does a juke move to get around the tight end and make the play in the backfield. Because he's watching where the ball is. See that juke move?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And then he's back there, makes the tackle. And that's something that Rashawn Gary just doesn't do, right? Because he's always trying to bull rush guys.
Yep.
And he gets blocked by the tight end, and he gets held there. We've seen it how many times I've shown you. And here, you got Kingsley Enagbare, who's it looks even better from this side, I think. Now he's over here on the left side of the screen. You see the tight end coming in motion?
Yep.
He just says, whoop, oole, buddy. Tight end falls on his face. Great play by Kingsley Enagbare.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that anybody can do, right? These aren't just... Now, by the way, that tight end was pretty bad in blocking the whole game. This is another Kingsley Enagbare play. What you're going to watch on this is he's going to split a double team here. And when he splits a double team and gets through, that allows, I think it's Isaiah McDuffie to take through another hole because these guys are so worried about him splitting that double team that he's wide open. And Enagbare gets back there to make the tackle, but he misses it. He doesn't quite get there. But McDuffie, because Kingsley Enagbare took the two offensive linemen out of the play by just splitting them, McDuffie has a clean shot to get in there. So you look at the very top of the screen, second guy down, you're going to see Kingsley Enagbare there. And then if you look just a little bit behind, you're going to see Isaiah McDuffie there. So first start watching Kingsley Enagbare. Watch how he splits the double team. So he's actually got a triple team. It's crazy. Because you got this wide receiver who's pitching him. You got the left tackle or the right tackle who's trying to get around to get on the running back. You also got 18 coming around to try to get a block over here. And then you got 69 who's supposed to take care of Kingsley Enagbare, but he runs right through there. And when he does, that screws up 70 because he kind of clips 70. And 18 goes straight to the corner, and that leaves the McDuffie wide open to come in and make the play. So, of course, Kingsley Enagbare, everybody's like, oh, he missed a tackle in the backfield. Well, he made the play. I mean, he's the guy who screwed everything up so that McDuffie would go back there untouched for a huge loss. But, of course, everybody's like, oh, Kingsley Enagbare missed that tackle. No.
That's a great play.
He did miss the tackle. But when you watch it from this angle, you see, like, all three of these guys are kind of all around him, and he just says, nope, I'm going. I'm getting to the backfield.
Yeah, he splits all that and jumbles it all up. That's awesome.
And that's
nice.
It's
nice to see corner support there too.
Right.
Okay.
So now we got another good play where we did another stunt. And on this stunt, it's setting up for... They didn't even block Wooden here because, excuse me, The offensive line is trying to pull. I think they're trying to get like a wide receiver screen or something. I don't know what. But instead of doing this run to this side, the quarterback wants to throw to the backside, throw over here, and you're going to watch because Wooden's right there in his face because of this stunt, and these guys just bailed, and this guy left. I mean, all these guys are getting scot free into the backfield, and you're going to watch Valentine's got his eyes straight on the quarterback, and he just beelines straight for him and knocks the ball away. So that's another one of those stunts that happened where the offensive line, I don't know what that play was. It wasn't very good by the defense or by the offensive line. It's pretty sad, to be quite honest. But here's another Carrington Valentine play. He's going to be at the bottom of your screen here. And he's just super aggressive. And he trusts his eyes, what he sees, and he goes for the play. If you look here, he just clips him. But before that, I'm going to rewind it again. Because what he's seeing is coming at him is you got the wide receiver, you got a tight end pulling, you got a guard pulling, you got a wide receiver sealing on the outside. The Packers are doing another stunt again, and what that stunt does is take Gary completely off the edge. He has no longer has contain. So, like if this was Jair Alexander, he'd sit here and pussyfoot and then get blocked by one of these guys, and this would be a 25-yard run. But because Valentine sees the pitch, he knows the quarterback doesn't have the ball anymore. He beelines it right past the wide receiver, and if the wide receiver was smart, he would have clipped him. But he's doing his assignment is probably to take the nickel corner away. So on this play, you're going to just watch. The whole reason why it works is not because these guys up front, they didn't stop the run, because this stunt does not work at all on an outside run play with all these pullers. It's all Valentine just being aggressive and going back there. And that tight end 89, another missed block. He's just not quick enough to get over there. Ole, and he trips, falls, and just gets there. But also, look at all these guys pursuit over on that side, too. I think it's Anthony Johnson Jr. again.
Colby Wooden too. Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see the guys pursuing down. And then that whatever, again, that's why we say to kind of temper your excitement a little bit now. But there was the other thing I noticed in the game, Ben, is something I hadn't seen the Packers do very often, and other teams have been doing it to them over and over, and like they finally caught on. But they did line up in some obvious pass situations with like 3 guys on one side of the center and only 1 defensive lineman on the other side of the center to like overload a side. And they did do that a few times, which was kind of cool to see them finally doing what works against them all the time, what a bunch of other teams do. So
they also did stuff like this. Look at the top of the screen. Jair is only 2 yards off this guy. Nixon is right up on this guy. They're playing coverage. I don't know if it's man or zone, but they're right on the receivers instead of being 8 yards off. Now, they didn't always do that, but this was the most press man I've seen, or at least press zone. I don't know what it all could have been. Who knows? But at least they started disrupting the routes because they know this is a timing offense. If you disrupt the route, it's over with. And because of that, the quarterback decides to go down here because he's got a big cushion. But Valentine is playing aggressive, and he's keeping his eyes on the quarterback. And he goes in, he gets his big long arms. That was so awesome. That's one thing Valentine has that Jair doesn't, is that long arm of the law, kind of like Preston Smith. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And in this game, Valentine had 3 pass deflections. Jair has 4 pass deflections the entire year. Now, I know he was hurt for a couple games, but one guy had 3 in one game. Heck, I mean, Brooks had 2 pass deflections in this game. So you're looking at just
Brooks. You just mentioned a guy that
I know what that's not Robert Brooks. I know.
No, but Sarah reminded me of something that I didn't realize. So Friday night, here's a little Friday night. We'll talk about Bob McGinn's ridiculous comments. We'll also bring up Robert Brooks.
Oh, we can talk about it tonight.
A blast. No, we'll do it Friday night. A blast from the past. I want your voice to be better when you get to hear it. All right, let's focus on the game here. Focus on the game. So, yeah, I mean, Valentine Flash, a lot of people excited about him. What are we looking at here? Everybody's up tight. What down and distance is this, Ben? What is this? Who's calling these defenses?
Well, it's only 2 yards.
Is this third down?
I think so. The first down marker is at the 46-yard line. So they start at the 48. It's like 3rd and 2 or something.
Or 30, the 36. So 3rd and 2, and we're up tight?
Yeah.
Oh, my
We got
goodness.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys.
I don't know what's
happening. Of course, Valentine's off a little bit because they're kind of in a bunch formation, and then we got Owens way back here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Johnson Jr. I can't remember who that is, but whatever. One of those guys is back there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think why I like this play. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's just see it.
They only have 3 guys rushing the play. This is the play late in the game where you're going to see Cooper Kupp, I think, come across the middle. If you look at the bottom, right about the 30-yard line, you're going to see Valentine and the wide receiver. He's going to do an in-breaking route in all this space. And what I want you to watch is actually at the top of the screen right now, you're going to see Eric Wilson. He's got the long white sleeves, second guy down from the top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he sees the quarterback looking that way to that big hole, he breaks to the middle of the field. Now, the pass is thrown behind the receiver, but if that ball would have been thrown like in the right spot, that would have been probably a pick by Eric Wilson. And it almost was a pick by Valentine. So there you go. See? As you look here, Jair is getting beat on top here.
Oh, well.
But Wilson's right now at the 30-yard line, and he is breaking to this area. And if that ball was thrown correctly, he would have broke right in front and picked that off. Because you see here, Valentine is trailing. So it looked like Valentine made an awesome play and almost got a pick. And he did. But it was more
open there, though. Yeah.
He's way open. And if that ball would have been thrown more accurately, it would have been picked off, or at the very least, a pass breakup by Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson didn't play many games on defense in this game, but he was very good at anticipating, reading the quarterback's eyes, and breaking on the ball. He had a couple plays like that were very, very good. And this, I think, this is just the same play from the other angle here.
He's kind of a tough player. Preston right in the middle. Yeah, look at him.
Well, he almost got his hand on it there.
I think that might be the one he deflected a tiny bit.
That might have been.
He deflected.
Yeah, he did. He did deflect it. So if he wouldn't have deflected it, Eric Wilson probably would have had a pick. And he knows that.
Eric Wilson.
He probably would have had a pick.
Damn, man.
He's super mad. He's like, dang, I would have had that pick. And I think this is the last play I have. It's another Eric Wilson play.
He might have dropped it, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows? Maybe he would have caught it. Maybe. It's like 50-50 on that.
So on this play, it's third down, and I think the first down marker is like the 50-yard line or something like that. And Jair is down at the bottom of the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
And the receiver is going to do like a quick comeback or something like that. Eric Wilson is in the very middle of the field. He's on the G right now. Okay. With the long white sleeves. Okay. He's going to back up 10 yards or so, or 5-6 yards. Read the quarterback's eyes, beeline it over there, and make the tackle before Jair does, even though Jair's standing right there.
But Jair was player of the game. He got the game.
And if Eric Wilson would not have done that, this would have been a first down, and the play and the drive would have continued. So just heads up on that.
That's
so as
not
you're
what
watching,
I heard from all the other media how great Jair was.
So and if you look here, we've got a guy coming in the flat. So Eric Wilson on this particular play, he's got to worry about this flat guy. Damn. That's his other assignment. This guy's going right past him.
This looks like a terrible defensive call.
It's very terrible.
A lot of open guys there. A lot of guys standing around doing nothing.
Maybe it wasn't a comeback. Maybe it's the guy in the flat that gets the ball here. But you're going to see Jair's right here. The ball gets thrown at about the 45-yard line. And Jair is going to pussyfoot. Look at how far. Look at where Eric Wilson is. Look at him. He's like 15 yards deep here. The ball is still in the quarterback's hand right now. He's just about ready to throw it. Jair is 10 yards away, 12 yards away. Eric Wilson's probably a good 17, 19 yards away. And then you're going to watch Jair on this play. He stops for some unknown reason. Just attack Jair. Can you imagine if Eric Wilson wouldn't be here? This would be a first down. It is third down. If you look right here, it's 3rd and 10. And Jair jumped back that far, came up and pussyfooted around. This guy would have totally been around him. But thank God Eric Wilson came flying over there. And then, of course, he makes the tackle. And Jair probably got a credit for an assist, even though he doesn't deserve it at all.
Yep, that was one of his 7 because the guy touched him as he was going to the ground.
Okay. I just wanted to – what I noticed from watching the film was the good thing is guys like Eric Wilson, guys like McDuffie, guys like Kingsley Enagbari, who needs to play more, who maybe he can't hold up against double teams as well, but he can split the defense and get in the backfield and mess stuff up. And Carrington Valentine was attacking. Anthony Johnson Jr., when he played around the line of scrimmage, was smart enough to keep an eye on the quarterback, break off his route, and come in and help tackle a guy who, Devondre Campbell should have been able to cover the guy, but he, of course, never does. And Those are all things I saw on the defensive tape, that the defensive line did not have as good a game. Like, they actually kind of got shoved around a little bit. They did a whole lot of stunts. I mean, on the film, it was like stunt after stunt after stunt between the defensive end and the outside linebackers. And I mean, it worked against this crappy offensive line and a dingle dong quarterback. But if they keep doing that stuff against good teams, it's probably going to lead to huge freaking plays, unless we have guys like McDuffie and guys like that. And Keyshawn Nixon was doing good too. He was attacking and getting in the backfield a couple times on the film. I just didn't show any of those plays, but that's what you saw on the film, man. It wasn't the defensive line this week. I mean, they did pretty good, but it was a lot of the Eric Wilsons of the world, McDuffie's, the slot guy, or the Nixon, Valentine, Johnson Jr., Owens. Those guys were attacking and getting in the backfield and reading the quarterback's eyes and knowing where the ball was. Like, they knew where, whatever, they could tell when the running back got the ball, and they attacked. And that's why we did so good against the run this week.
That's what you need. It's nice to have guys who are paying attention to where the ball is and who has it. And, after the ball, it's clearly a handoff and the quarterback doesn't have it anymore. Stop chasing him. Go get in on the play. How many times we see that stuff happen? But anyway, zeros here. Zeros being -0. Come on, man. What's the point in winning games? Love clearly isn't the answer. We're just hurting our draft position. 0. Come on, man. Jordan Love only had 5 incompletions, Ben. Wasn't that right? 21 out of 26.
Yeah,
Come
the
on.
numbers, the stats look really good.
They did look good, didn't they? Now, I will say, I don't understand why he didn't just, put the ball more on a line at Christian Watson, the deep one that they connected on that Watson got hurt on. I'm like, just throw it at him. Just throw it. Like,
he was wide open.
I
Like,
know.
and
Why loft it?
and he
Just
threw
drill
it so far over. Like, he threw the ball that he should have threw the first time.
Yeah.
Way past him. And the ball that he threw the first time, he should have threw the second time, where it would have hit in the gap, and Watson would have caught it easily and then turned upfield because there was no defender there on the screen. I have those plays, but I don't know if I want to bring them up or not. But
oh, you do? Okay, all right. We'll let
I
him
don't really want to watch. I don't want to watch my Jordan Love videos.
Okay.
I'm not sold. I agree with Zero though. I am not
Okay.
sold on Jordan Love at this point.
I mean,
He's too inconsistent.
He had some good moments, like the out he throws to Dobbs later in the game for a first down. I mean, that was a nice ball. It was on time. It was like
Dobbs had a great hands catch on that one.
Yeah. I mean,
but he also, like, the pass to Malik Heath over the middle was at his shoestrings. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, I know. Everybody's like, "You touch his hand, you should catch it." Okay, he's an undrafted rookie. He's an undrafted rookie. You're a 4-3-year player. Can we be a little more accurate? The passes to Wicks on the sideline where he was wide ass open and he had to, like, catch it behind him, and then he fell down and lost the ball and all that crap. That would have been thrown right here where it normally would. He would have caught it, turned upfield, and got first down easily, went out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched Aaron Rodgers. We can see any quarterback makes that throw. It's not a hard throw.
Right.
Well, like, what's he doing? There was a screen pass to Aaron Jones on the first drive where he just freaking totally whiffed it. And there's another play where he was running in motion. He was like 3 yards away from Musgrave, and he chucks it way in front of him, and Musgrave kind of leans forward and gets his fingertips on it. But I mean, he was like literally like 4 yards away. He could have like underhanded through it to him, and it would have been a better pass. Yeah. And that's the stuff I'm talking about. The receivers bailed his butt out a lot in this game, and with some inaccurate passes that were caught, and which they hadn't done in the past, which is great.
Right.
But it was still, to me, not very good. Not very good. And I would say below average. Below average accuracy by a lot. Even in this game where he was 21 out of 26 or whatever it was. And that's just, I don't know. I'm not a believer at this point. But what are you going to do?
I mean, you're right. The stats look really great, right? 20 out of 26, 228 yards, a touchdown, no picks. QBR, holy cow, 125. That ain't QBR. That's quarterback rating. Okay, 125.16. But the biggest things are the team was more run heavy. They got Aaron Jones the ball, and like you said, the average isn't great, but 20 touches for Aaron Jones. He only had a long of 9, but I don't give a crap. Like that dude needs to touch the ball, and for whatever reason they've been holding him back, and now they finally maybe Matt LaFleur realized what you said. Like he's like, man, my job could be in the line here. I better just give Aaron Jones the ball and get him involved.
Well,
Um.
I would say this was also one of Matt LaFleur's best play call games.
Oh yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot
for
of
sure.
motion. There was a lot of Jordan Love was under center a heck of a lot more than he has been in the past this week, which gave AJ Dillon some good runs going hard. We had some pony package plays that were designed to confuse the defense as well as get some lead runs by Aaron Jones with AJ Dillon leading the way, even though Aaron Jones took the wrong hole on that one. But you saw different things that can confuse the defense. And the touchdown pass to Musgrave, I know was, it's a steal from 49ers, but it was a great freaking play call. I mean, I don't care if you stole the play. If it's a freaking awesome play, you run it. And the guys executed for the most part. But like I said, I don't think the Rams defense, especially their defensive line, was anything to write home about, where they were like, they weren't penetrating that very well much at all. And Jordan Love took way too many. He took a couple sacks that were just dumb. Like when you watch the film back, the guys are open, like wide open. Just take the check down and they'll stay, But he didn't a couple times, and you're like, dude. And then he gets sacked, and the miscues were terrible. I mean, the false start when they got in field goal range by Jaden Reed was like, come on, dude. The Runyon Bunyan frickin' what the hell was that crap? Lining up off sides or whatever, or not lining up in the neutral zone. Everybody knows the football is the neutral zone. Like, and I guess because they said Yash did it in the first time, Runyon didn't think it was him. So he lined up the exact same way the next time it was 4th and 1, and they called it on him again. Because they announced it as Yash was doing it, but Yash obviously wasn't the one who was doing it. They got the wrong guy. And that's something where if I'm the offensive line coach, I'm like, hey, what happened here? I'll be talking to the ref, on the sideline, or Matt LaFleur. I'm like, what happened here? Why are we calling for this? Who's doing it? Like, what's the wrong with the play? It looks fine to me. And then the guy would be like, well, your right guard is freaking got his hands in the neutral zone, or whatever. He's got to back up like an inch, which is a bullcrap call. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And then Rashawn Gary with the face mask and then jumping off sides in the very next play. Like everybody's saying how the young guys will make mistakes. Young guys will make mistakes. This is John Runyon and Rashawn Gary. And like, these are not the young guys making the mistakes. These are the veteran players that are making the mistakes. The young guys played awesome. I mean, yeah, Wicks, had the fumble and all that, but I don't know.
Dad's here. Dad, how's it going? Hopefully he's doing all right. Got his new car hopefully by now. All good.
New car? He bought a new car already?
Yeah, man. You gotta keep up. You ain't been keeping up with Dad.
I've been I was gonna call today, and then I got home and I was so messed up. I just like
Well, I hope you get better. We'll let you go pretty quick here tonight. Jonathan Owens, had a bunch of tackles. He played pretty well. Isaiah McDuffie, love how he played. Keyshawn Nixon playing well, like all kinds of good things. The other nice thing is they spread the ball around quite a bit. Different receivers. It's nice to see that versus one guy get a million targets and all that. And, Musgrave finally getting in the end zone on probably one of the better play. Now, here we all thought Matt LaFleur was like, yeah, I'm getting creative here. And then after the game, we find out one of his assistant coaches told him to dig that up out of the basket from years ago. He just didn't want to run it, even though everybody else runs it. But it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, both on the field, run them in opposite directions, fake as screen to both of those guys. You would think that would get people's attention, get people moving around, and it worked out good. And they executed well. So
was that your play of the game or what?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I did think Luke Musgrave was going to fall down right before the defensive player got to him, but then he stayed in his feet. So I was pretty excited. You got some more plays here? What do you got?
Well, I got that play.
Oh, okay. Let's see it.
So like we were talking about, you got Aaron Jones is lined up in the slot over here with AJ Dillon in the backfield. And you're going to see both inside linebackers just completely ignore AJ Dillon. They kind of move over motion, but then it goes with him because the defensive end here, or the outside linebacker, is covering in this zone. And look at here. Aaron Jones is going this way. There's nobody to block for him. This isn't like a screen pass. You got the corners jumping it. You got both linebackers jumping it. Everybody's going to Aaron Jones. Everybody.
Oh,
And
that's
then, of
AJ
course,
Dillon over there on the right.
what?
They
That
all
was
went to
Aaron.
AJ Dillon's side. Yeah.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
At first they shifted, but then
Yeah.
after that fake was done, then they all shifted back to AJ Dillon, and then
Oh,
three
you're right.
guys
It
were
was
over
AJ
there.
Dillon. Okay, yeah, you're right. Dang, I was totally wrong.
That's all right. You're sick.
Why would they do that? Why would they go to AJ
brains-
Dillon?
Because they think they know the play.
Oh,
I
they're
really
dumb.
thought Musgrave would fall down, but he didn't.
I thought
so
he'd
that's
follow
awesome.
down too, but he was fast and aggressive, and it was an awesome play.
Yeah.
It was the best play of the game.
Yeah.
Nobody went there Aaron Jones. I would have threw to Aaron Jones, but I mean, it works.
Yeah. Easier. In
There
the
you
middle.
go. Awesome play. I would say it's an yet play, but whatever.
You would. I
Sure.
guess. Any other contenders for that? Probably not. Probably not.
I don't know. I like it. So,
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Well, it was probably the best play Matt LaFleur's called in 4 years.
yeah,
Because we know he didn't call any of the plays in the last 3 years, so till now. And this year he's been in a funk, so that's good to see Matt LaFleur calling a good play, even though he got it from one of his other coaches. So we got to find out who that coach was that said, "Hey, I think that play would work. Let's dig it out of the archives." So whoever that
Yeah.
is should probably be the new offensive coordinator. What do you think about that? Huh?
I think that'd be probably better than
Yeah, I'd like
what's
it.
his face, unless it was what's his face.
I have. Well, let's get into it. We got to get a couple of items out of the way here. You showed some video already, but I'm pretty excited
Okay.
about my friend. Let's check it out here. We'll give it a little. I got to give it a little bit more volume here, so it's not too quiet.
And now it's time for the Hafeman Bros silent but deadly player of the week.
All right, my silent but deadly player of the week. Only because he's small at a position for the position he plays, and not a lot of people notice him. But every time he gets to the game, he just does pretty good. He just does pretty good. And he attacks stuff, even though he's small and he's not that fast. He knows what's going on. And so my silent but deadly player of the week is I almost called him OJ. Isaiah McDuffie. Isaiah McDuffie, number 58, is my silent but deadly player of the week. Isaiah McDuffie, congratulations.
Nice.
He had 7 tackles in this game, or 6 tackles in this game. 7, I think. Let me double check that. Dang, Isaiah McDuffie. 7 tackles in this game. He's flying around, made some tackles for a loss. He's doing good stuff. Quay Walker couldn't play, right? And when Quay Walker can't play, you're like, how's it going to go? But I really like what I've seen from him. I will be honest, and I will say, Ben, his rookie season, I thought he should have been cut. I was like, this guy can't play. He's too small. He's too slow. He's not good, even good for special teams. Like, just get rid of him. You know, it was a bad pick. But he's turned into a really solid player, and I'm impressed. Isaiah McDuffie's doing pretty good.
Cool.
What do you got for your silent but deadly player of the game?
My silent but deadly player is an offensive player who had 1 catch in the game,
Ooh.
but he repeatedly took the top off the defense, and more importantly, did a pretty good job of blocking in the run game. So after watching the film back, I was like, dang. And he had a couple where he was kind of slacking it, but most of the time he was in there busting it. And that is Christian Watson, my silent but deadly player of the game. Now he's got to stop getting hurt every time he catches the ball, but his run blocking was very good. His decoyness was very good. Opened up a couple things for guys. So that's my silent but deadly.
Christian Watson, you get it this week. Nice.
He should never be silent, though. He should be just deadly. But
right. He should be loud.
unfortunately, he's only got like 2 targets in the game, and they were both, 40-yard passes or whatever for some unknown reason. It'd be nice to get him some targets a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, let him run with it, but they use the speed. But whatever.
it is weird that they're pretty much only throwing screens and go balls to him. It's just, I mean, I don't know. He showed, and we've talked about it how many times. He gets running a little bit. He can get the top speed. If he runs across the formation, he can run away from plenty of guys. I mean, I guess the lack of seeing those type of plays in this offense, I just don't get it. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand why Matt LaFleur won't call him. It's weird to me.
Well, he was open in the middle of the field a couple times, and Jordan Love just looked at him and was like, nah. And then threw a stupid pass, and, but it was still completed to somebody. But
we got some more Packer offense here. What's happening?
Well, this is the first Packer offense, I think, that I'm showing, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So what you're going to see here is at the bottom of your screen, you see Musgrave, who had a pretty rough game, blocking in the run game. Actually didn't do that great. If you ask me, didn't look very good on the film. But he's going to get in motion and get out of here. And then you're going to see Christian Watson is going to take on Zero, their outside linebacker type, and shield him and hold the block for like 3 seconds. Like, just hold him right where he is the entire time. And you're going to see Myers come around in motion, and he's going to pick up the corner, and Josiah DeGuara is going to come this way, and he's going to pick up a linebacker or somebody like that. And then A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones, whoever the running back is going to get a whole bunch. I think it's Aaron Jones. Is going to get a whole bunch of yards on this play. But the first time you watch it, I want you to just watch Christian Watson. Don't watch anything else.
That's definitely A.J. Dillon. Too big for Aaron Jones.
Oh, Aaron Jones was lying. Oh, it's what's his face?
Jaden
Reed. Yeah, it was Jaden Reed. But as you're seeing here, Christian Watson has engaged his block now.
Yeah.
And Jaden Reed has the ball 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So you're asking your wide receiver to block a defensive end or outside linebacker type for a very long time.
He's like another tackle out there. He's taking over from Mercedes Lewis.
He's blocking better than Mercedes Lewis in the run game, to be quite honest. Mercedes only blocked for about a second. This guy's blocking for 3 or 4. Look at him. Christian Watson, look at him. He's still holding him. He's still holding him off. He's still holding him off. That guy was no factor in this play.
Wow, that's a great block. Damn.
And after everybody talked about Josh Myers, they're like, look at Josh Myers running around the corner. Oh, my gosh. But really, the key to this play is Christian Watson getting that seal and holding that seal the whole time. The other thing is Josiah DeGuara coming across, taking out this guy, and holding his block for a good 2 seconds. He lets up a little bit, but that's because the running back's already passed him at that point. His guy does get him out of bounds, but you can't hold him. I mean, they would have called holding on him if he would have hung on to him any longer. Once the running back's past you can't really block anymore.
That's still a really difficult block and great block by DeGuara, because that's, and you're right. If Watson doesn't seal the edge here, then you got all kinds of traffic in there. That whole play is screwed up. But the way he does, and then how DeGuara basically slows down enough, but then still attacks the guy. That's outstanding blocking by both those guys. Really.
See,
good.
and normally on this type of play, you would see the left tackle being pushed backwards by the defensive tackle, but the Rams defensive tackle pretty much just stood up and got his butt kicked, because normally he would get shoved back and then Myers gets clipped, and then of course Zero reads it and runs through. But in this case, because Myers is coming across, Zero has to wait and try to juke Myers because he thinks Myers is coming to him. He doesn't know that Christian Watson's coming to get him, which is the key to this play. So, like I said, if they play against the Steelers, this defensive end is not going to just sit there and take it like that. He's going to, if they call this play again, that defensive end is going to push that left tackle back, probably screw everything up, and then that's usually what happened over the first bunch of weeks of the season. But because their Rams defensive tackles stink, defensive ends stink, other than Aaron Donald, that's how this play works. And Myers totally runs. See, this guy thinks it's going there.
Myers takes on the smallest guy. He takes the smallest
does a good
guy
job.
at all that. I know.
That's the first time I've seen him block pretty decent.
Look at him stay with
usually
that
he totally
block. Pretty good.
Whiffs on the guy. Yeah.
He still ended up on the ground, but wow, that's the best. That might be the best block of Josh Myers' professional career. Wow.
Now you're going to see on the bottom of your screen.
Packer's here. Hey, Kelly Packer.
Hey, Kelly Packer. You're going to see Wicks down here at the bottom of your screen, right about the 40-yard line. He's going to cover. He's going to block the Zero again. Same type of thing on this running play. And he does a great job. I don't know if Zero's just he's a Zadarius Smith type player, or I don't know what his deal is, but
Hey, like skip blocked by wideouts.
he
Okay.
likes to get blocked by wideout, I guess. Same thing. Musgrave goes in motion. You got DeGuara and Wicks. Look at that. He got beat,
That's a
but he
great
stayed with
job.
him. He stayed with him.
That's a great job.
Now, anybody else, if that would have been Christian Watson, I hate to say it, he probably would have got beat and not stayed with him. And they could have maybe called holy that Wicks here. I don't know.
He does a really good job of letting him go and then also trying to get his head out in front. That's the key here. See how he gets his head out in front? That's how you got to block. If you're blocking in space, especially if you're undersized, believe me, I was undersized plenty of times when I was playing football, and that's how you got to do it. Get your head out in front and just try to stay on the guy. That's a great job, especially for a wideout against the outside linebacker like that.
And it looks way scarier from this angle when you see what Aaron Jones is looking at here, because he just sees, there he is, and he just stays on the outside. DeGuara misses his block though, unfortunately.
Well, he kind of got twisted around. I think he probably thought Jones would go inside, and then because of that guy's penetration, he had to go the opposite way, and that twisted DeGuara around. So, but yeah, blocking in space is not easy. It's tough. There's some pretty good examples of it though. Look at that line push. That's ridiculous. Come on, the Rams are terrible. What the hell?
Well, the key on this play is the Rams, it's at the end of the game. This is the Eric Wilson big run. The Rams know the Packers want to run the ball. Packers have both tight ends lined up tight here. And then when they move the wide receiver in motion, the corner is now playing more inside. And he's leaving all this space. Because his key is now the tight end, right? Because he's got a zone probably back here. And when he sees it's a run, he attacks and does not hold his out edge. He should have stayed on the outside edge, which we've watched Jair do that a bunch of times, or not jump in, but doesn't hold the outside edge. But like you said, that the left or the right side of the offensive line and the two tight ends do a really good job of shoving and shoving and shoving. Up here, you got Kraft, and I think this is Sims. I think at this point, Musgrave was out of the game. And then you got Zach Tom. They shove these guys back a good 2-3 yards. And Wilson's got a nice little wall to follow. Yeah, it was Sims, 89.
He's pretty good blocker and decent overall. And I actually, Tucker Kraft was kind of like my second choice for silent but deadly player of the game, because he was in limited action. He did a pretty good job blocking this week.
Oh, I see. Cool. So Kraft is actually the inside tight end.
I liked what I saw from him as a blocker this week.
Ooh, he got shoved a little bit, but he's going up against the defensive end.
Yeah, he's staying.
Where 89's taking on the, I don't know what that is. I guess maybe a nickel guy or safety or something.
Nice to see Emmanuel Wilson get some.
No, it's a linebacker. And 44 Witherspoon is really slow. Holy crap! Because Wilson doesn't even look like he's moving that fast. No, I got it in half speed, but still.
It's weird because you have flashbacks to Adrian Amos running in 31. It would be a lot slower than that. So it's kind of like, oh wait, that guy's fast now. That's right, 31's fast now on this team. Sorry, Adrian Amos, nice guy, but not that fast. Hey, how do you think Viking Mo feels after his Josh?
I think
Dobbs?
he probably had an amazing day. He was super pumped after watching that.
That was crazy. Damn.
And that's the type of stuff that it's hard to believe that, Packers won by 17 points, but there were so many mistakes it almost feels like they didn't win. And the Vikings had a bunch of mistakes and stuff, but it was so flashy and crazy, and they won in the end, and everybody's going crazy and nuts, right? Because it was last second victory and all that kind of stuff. So it's a different feel. I don't know what to say about this. The Packers win here against the Rams. It was, it didn't feel like 17 points the way they played. The Rams could not do anything. But as I showed you in the first video, was I think our young defensive players played great. They really attacked. They trusted their eyes. And it's obvious that the Rams quarterback was, afraid to throw the ball deep. And he did a lot of checkdowns, and, maybe Sean McVay is calling checkdowns and, telling him to do whatever. I don't know. But it was the aggressiveness of guys that we talked about that kind of sealed the fate. And then there were plays with other guys that left you going, you're scratching your head. I'm like, what are we doing here with like Jair? And I mean, he had a couple. He had probably a handful of good plays, but he had some other plays where you're like, what are you doing? Like the one play I showed where Wilson came from the middle of the field and beelined over there and tackled the guy, and Jair hesitated. And if Wilson wouldn't have been there, it would have been a first down, because that's the kind of stuff Jair does. He hesitates, attack, and make the play. And the weird thing is he attacked and made the play earlier in the game, a couple other times.
Yep.
But that time he didn't. And thank God Wilson was on the field to cover up his hesitation. So
The one thing that also, not, just put it in perspective, Sean McVay is normally a pretty aggressive coach. And there were a number of 4th and shorts that he punted on in this game, like 2 or 3 of them that I was like, normal teams probably would have gone for it, or him and feeling more comfortable with his offense, he probably would have gone for it. But in this game, he was like, nope, punting it. Okay. So I don't know. It's hard because that's been one of the defense's bugaboo, right, Ben? Is they'll give up, even in 3rd and longs, they give up like let the team get within 2 yards, a yard or 2 of the first down by 4th down. And these days, most of these coaches will just go for it then. So that's not good enough. The old days of, oh my gosh, we're a foot away, we're gonna punt it. Most of these coaches, they're going for it. They are going for it. And so you have to play 3rd down, even 3rd and long. You have to play it just as aggressively as you play every other down. Pretty much. You can't sit there and play the soft crap and tackle them 2 yards short and think, oh yeah, now we get to get off the field, because most guys aren't going to let you have that. So and I don't know if Joe Barry's like just not, he's late to the party on that one, or what the deal is, but it seems like the Packers still do that and that's what happened last week with a bunch of those 3rd and longs they gave up or whatever. It's like they're just playing too damn soft. So hopefully what we saw, some more tight coverage in this game compared to other weeks, we see more of that moving forward. They need to. But anyway, it's a win, man. It's a win. Packers are 3-5. Doesn't mean they're going places, but they're still ahead of the Bears, so that's something. And yeah, and this week coming up, they got the Steelers. So which Najee Harris doesn't scare me, but their other Jaden Warden, he scares me. That'll be a test. I'll be really curious to see how the Steelers' run game looks. I know their offensive line isn't particularly good, but that running back just looks like a guy that's a problem. I think Packers might struggle with that a little bit, but who knows? We'll find out.
If they try doing, like I said, if they try doing all those stunts against the Steelers, it's probably going to be bad news. I think they'll. Not that the Steelers are that good on the offensive line, but Najee Harris is an aggressive runner. He'll run through the tackle. And the other guy, 30, he'll run through the tackle. So,
we do have the hope, though. Because remember, I always told you, don't ever trust a quarterback that wears 2 gloves or wears gloves on both hands. And Kenny Pickett wears gloves on both hands, so you can't trust him. So maybe he'll screw it up and throw some bad balls.
We'll see. That'd be good. That'd be good.
All right. Well, feel better. Get some rest, my brother. I love you.
I'm
Dad,
sorry, man.
Love you. Everybody else, take care of yourselves. We'll be back Friday night. Friday night is going to be our next show. Is Friday night okay? I don't know. Are you okay?
I don't know. Whatever. We'll see if I'm alive or not. I'm feeling
better
good.
Be alive. So
feeling good.
Friday night, if Ben's feeling okay, we're doing reaction to Bob McGinn's nonsense. We'll also do what did I say before? Something else.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, we'll do we'll talk about Robert Brooks, and what Sarah clued me in on when I saw her this past weekend. So that's Friday night. And then of course we'll talk about the Steelers, and I don't know, hopefully we'll see how that one goes. They're going to be a lot more aggressive defense, that's for sure. All right, you guys take care of yourself. What else you got? You got anything else?
Nothing. No, we're good.
I mean, it's not like they've been like world beaters, and they do play a lot of zone. And hopefully the young guys are figuring out how to like sit in zone so they can stay open instead of running into coverage, which they've also talked about as an issue in the past. So there's some things to examine. We'll talk about it on Friday night. You guys be good, stay good, all right? Take care of yourselves. And as always, go Pack Go. Tom Grassi, congratulations to you. You are the 2023 Green Bay Packer fan of the world by the NFL. So that's pretty awesome. You see that? Nominated as the ultimate Packer fan for 2023, Tom Grassi.
Does he need that?
I don't know, but he got
Isn't
it.
isn't he already the most watched ding dong out there?
No, Pat McAfee is, and he's number 2.
No, but I mean Packer ding dong.
Probably.
Oh well, whatever. Good for him.
It's all right. Good for you, Grassi. Keep it going, bro. All right, everybody else, stay good, be good, and take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next week.
Just to hold